welcome back to another Friday Trucker Money video, number 36. Talking about the week of February 1st through the 5th. If you're new here, thanks for stopping in. Fridays we get together and talk about money, personal finance, investing, side income, passive income, debt, business, all kinds of things about money, but nothing about trucking, because that's the other 6 days of the week. 7th day, I don't know. Talk about something else. All trucking all the time makes me a sad boy. But anyway, it's not financial advice, just me talking about my personal experience to maybe motivate and inspire you to take charge of your own personal financial situation, so that when the robots come and take all our jobs and enslave us, maybe we can still have enough money to eat. I don't know. Anyway, start off here by talking about any side income or investment income or investment purchases I made for the week. Had some rental real estate. Got a rent check from that. And then let's talk about the passive income dividend portfolio. Oh, first, there's some links in the description below. Check them out. Some different things I promote. Got some discount codes for you for good stuff. I don't promote anything I don't use myself, so there's just a couple things there. Check it out. I do earn a couple bucks from that. Very little, but it's worth doing anyways. It's good stuff. From the passive income portfolio, we got paid from Toronto Dominion, Verizon, Bristol Myers Squibb, General Mills, and Campbell Soup. What did I buy this week? Made a couple small purchases. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, Pfizer. Things are overpriced, man. I'm having trouble finding bargains in the investments that I have, so I'm just putting small amounts of money in to get my allocations right, and then I have some stocks on my list that I've decided I'm going to increase this year. A couple of these were on that. A couple of them I'm just trying to bring the allocation up. Overpriced, man. Some of these I paid too much for, but just trying to adjust positions. Got one dividend increase this week from the 3M company. A little less than 1%, 0.68%, which is very small for 3M. Normally they're like a 7 to 11% compound annual growth rate for the dividend. But hey, we just went through some tough times, so I'll take that 1%. It's better than nothing. And I would almost be willing to bet that if 2021's any kind of a year, that we're going to see some huge dividend increases in general for next year, because all these companies kind of scaled it back during this pandemic. So anyway, something kind of interesting. I don't own that, but Old Dominion Freight Lines just announced they're raising their dividend by 33%. Now, if you remember, you can go back several videos ago, I talked about what are the best performing stocks over the last 20 years. And surprisingly, if I remember right, number 1 or number 2, I think it was number 1, was Old Dominion Freight Lines or Tractor Supply, one of the two. Anyway, so I found it kind of interesting that not only are they either the first or second best performing stock of the last 20 years, but now they're raising their dividend 33%. And they're in the trucking industry, so that kind of brought my attention to it. I did see Schneider also raise theirs. I believe it was 7% or something like that, but I don't know either one of them. I just thought it was interesting. So what I want to talk about this week is I want to answer a subscriber question. It was a really good question. Thanks. I think it was Jersey Trucker asked me that. And he said, I got some extra money in the business. I want to put it to work in investments, like stocks, businesses, real estate, anything that generates revenue for me. And how do I do that? And I thought it was a pretty interesting question, so I thought I'd take some time and say what I would do. You know, I can't give advice, that's illegal, but I can say what I would do, and then you can take it or leave it and do what you want with it and totally do the opposite, whatever, I don't care. So first thing I would say is don't short your business money. Don't short it capital. Leave a cushion there for breakdowns, taxes, unforeseen events. Leave a really good cushion. The more cushion you have, the more likely your business is to succeed. Nothing will kill a business faster in this country than lack of capital. So don't short yourself capital. Then decide what amount you need, take anything above and beyond that. And I would say the most important part of this is to decide what amount of money, whether it's 10,000 or 10 million, whatever you're going to do, and separate that money out from the business. What do I mean by that? Well, depending on what kind of business you run, if you're a sole proprietor, all the way up to a C Corp, or anything in between, what is the mechanism you use to pay yourself? Pay yourself that money out of the company. Get that money out of your business. So if you're a sole proprietor, just write yourself a check, say bonus check, whatever. If you're a bigger corporation, maybe it's a dividend check, maybe it's profit sharing, maybe it's a bonus, but pay that money. I would pay that money to myself to get it out of the business. I would not make the investment directly from my business. Okay, we don't want to mix money. That can create some problems for you down the road. We'll see why in a minute. That's probably the most important thing here. And then after that, so first of all, back up a second. For my business, I keep a checking account and a savings account. I really don't see the need to do anything more than that, because if I have money above and beyond that for the business, it's going somewhere else. Because in my opinion, leaving large amounts of money there sitting there available can make you a target for a lawsuit, or if you happen to get sued, okay, don't make it. They're going to attack you in 20 different angles, but that doesn't mean you have to make it easy for them if they sue you, okay? So above and beyond that, I'm doing something else. Now, if I was going to do rental property, okay, I would get that money out of the business, pay it to myself, and then I could use that money, say $20,000, whatever the amount is, for seed money for a new entity. So I would start Adam's Property Service, whatever, and then operate that business separate from the trucking business. And once again, consult a professional. Is if I have my rental business over here and my trucking business over here, and they don't interact with each other, like if I blow a tire, I wouldn't take it out of the rental business. See what I'm saying? They can do business together. Like the trucking company could rent a shop from my real estate business. That's a legitimate business transaction, but I'm not going to, need shingles for the rental property and take it out of the trucking account, that kind of thing. So, I'm not protected from the trucking business. I'm not protected from the rental business, but they're separate from each other. They're kind of distant from each other. That's what kind of we're trying to do, is put as much distance between things as possible. Not to say they can't get at the money, but we don't have to make it easy for them, right? And also insurance. Properly insure yourself. Insurance goes a long way. Sometimes if they realize there's no more insurance money to get, that's all she wrote. Now, if I'm going to do like stock investing or put money in the financial markets, then I'm going to choose a proper account setup, whether that's like a SEP IRA, simple IRA, solo 401k IRA, Roth IRA. I got several videos on all those things, so go back in the channel here and check it out. Maybe it can help decide, give you some guidelines on what might be right for you, and then sit down with your financial person and talk it out further. The only time I would really take money from the business and invest it would be like for the benefit of a 401k, where that's where the money has to come from, or like a SEP IRA, where the money has to come from. But if it's just my personal IRA, first I'm writing a check to myself, and then for myself I'm writing a check to the IRA. So consult with somebody on that, which ones have to come from the business, which ones are better to come from you. So I just wanted to take some time and answer that question. Well, incidentally, I forgot to say congratulations to the gentleman for even having that. That's a good problem to have, to be able to have some extra money to set aside and do something with. I know how hard you work for it, and just want to say congratulations. So take care, everybody, and we will see you next time.